All right, so we got Caitlin Clark doesn't deserve for. Wait, whoa, what the fuck? We got Caitlin Clark didn't deserve for this to happen. I don't know what exactly we're talking about here. At the time of this recording, we are at 413 subs. Let's keep it going, boys, and girls. I do have some girls out there, so let's keep it going. Like, comment, subscribe. It's free. Just drop a little type shit. Caitlin Clark, what don't you deserve? Let's see what happened to her.
Playoffs are here, and Caitlin Clark is playing on the biggest stage of women's basketball. Right after it was announced, she finished 4th in MVP voting in her rookie season.
Crazy
this
work.
This was the Fever's first playoff game since 2016, up against the stacked Connecticut Sun, who have...
Hold on, I'll keep you playing.
Players scoring in double digits. This series is going to be a war, and the first battle was crazy and very controversial too. First play of the playoffs in nearly a decade, and Indiana get their first bucket. Watch Mitchell in the Iverson cut come across Boston's screen, take 2 dribbles, and pull up in the mid.
Is it crazy to say that Kelsey Mitchell is damn near the face of... She's not the face, but I think Kelsey Mitchell is the best player on that Indiana team right now. As of right now. I feel like Clark is definitely the face. Clark will be better. But as of right now, I think Kelsey Mitchell is better than Caitlin Clark. Because the way I'm watching, the way she plays, holy. And obviously, it's not really saying much. Caitlin Clark's a rookie, obviously. But a lot of people are not really talking about Kelsey Mitchell the way they should, because she's a bucket.
And just 90 seconds into the game, we have the moment that changed the game. Pay attention to what happens to Caitlin Clark after she releases the ball.
No, bless you. It's crazy work.
Boston, she's hit in the face by Carrington. She falls to the floor.
Let's see this. Is this an accident? Because Carrington's not a dirty player.
Pay attention to what happens to Caitlin Clark. After she releases the ball to Boston, she's hit in the...
I don't see anything on purpose there.
By Carrington.
Carrington's not a dirty
player.
player.
To the floor immediately and stays down. No foul is called. The refs say play on and the Suns score. When you look at the replays, you can see Clark is poked in the eye by a long finger.
Come on now. She was going for the board. I meant the ball. Come on, bro. Let's not push this narrative that Carrington's a dirty player. Don't do it. Don't do it, bro. Don't do it.
From Carrington,
we're not fucking with
follows
that.
Through. But at what point is it clear that she's being targeted by opposing teams? Everybody
That's
knows the Connecticut Sun are dirty. Alyssa Thomas is known for cheap shots, and when the Fever played the Sun earlier in the season, Carrington did this. This is the WNBA playoffs, and barely a minute into the
One thing we all have to admit is that Caitlin Clark is really like LeBron James right now, bro. Like, she flops hella. And Caitlin Clark has a whistle. She does. Let's be honest. She does. Let's be truthful.
Clark is getting this kind of treatment. It's never Erica Wheeler or Katie Lou. It's always Caitlin. The same way it was always Michael Jordan, who was subject to the Jordan rules for years until the league did something about it. And until the WNBA does something about this to protect Caitlin on the floor, this is going to continue to happen. 17% of all flagrant fouls in the WNBA this past season were on Caitlin Clark.
That is crazy.
You cannot tell me that's coincidence. Now, in the post-game interview, Clark said that this didn't affect her performance at all.
I don't think it affected me, honestly. I felt like I got good shots. They just didn't go down. And
but your eyesight is pretty important when playing basketball, especially when you're shooting from 30 feet. She was obviously in a lot of pain, and who knows how this might have affected her and her performance.
My guy, listen, I get it. I've seen your channel. You're basically just a Caitlin Clark fan page. I get the content, but she's not going to let you hit, bro. Calm down. Let's be honest, bro. She's not going to let you hit, bro. She don't know you. Like, relax, cuz you do a little too much.
I'll tell you one thing though, Caitlin did get Carrington back. Anyway, let me know down below in the comments, was this deliberate or accidental? Very poor transition defense here from the Fever. Clark probably still half blind from the eye poke. Doesn't track Bonner running the floor. Lexi tries to help. Bonner gets to her spot in the mid-range. She hits it.
She don't need you making excuses for her,
the other
bro.
way, Indiana get two on the board. Aaliyah Boston deep seal is too physical for Bonner down low. Gets as close to the hoop as possible and just dumps it in. But Bonner answers right back. Lexi Hall gives her too much room in the corner and she connects on her second triple. That's why she's top 5 all time in playoff points scored. The Fever continue to run their offense through Aaliyah Boston. Watch here, Kelsey Mitchell behind the back bounce pass to Aaliyah, who hits her signature set shot from the elbow, and then again identical circumstances.
I ain't gonna lie, if you're running your offense through Aaliyah Boston, bro, you're not going very far, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I've watched her play. She's tough. She's good. But she's not that good for you to run your whole offense through her, bro. Like, no. You're tripping.
Mitchell floats
You're
it
tripping.
up over the double team. Boston catches, similar position, sets up, and
Like, I'm giving Aaliyah Boston at least 55 points in one-on-one. Give me to 1,000 subs, bro. We don't gotta deal with the ads.
scores again
Don't
from
hear nothing
close
about it,
range.
though.
She's up to 6 points early on. They say Alyssa Thomas is the Russell Westbrook of the WNBA because she does a bit of everything. Watch in transition here,
I say
Thomas
she's Ben
takes it
Simmons.
coast to coast. She's a freak.
I call her the Ben
transition,
Simmons of
sends
WNBA.
Lexi Hall the wrong way with the Euro step, gets to
But
the
with more
goal and
confidence.
scores the layup. Here, Clark finds Nalissa Smith down low. She's too strong on the layup, and watch the poor transition defense from Caitlin Clark. Instead of tracking Bonner, she's ball watching with no real idea of what she's supposed to do defensively. Carrington sees this and finds Bonner with a beautiful pass over the
a good
defense,
pass.
and that's just too easy. Offensively here, Clark does well to hold off the physical defense from Bonner down low, kicks out to Mitchell in the corner, she sidesteps and hits a massive three to tie it up. That's exactly what the Fever needed. And check out the physicality here from Clark. In transition, she muscles her way past Maybury. Clark quickly reverses it in off the glass through contact, but no foul is called. First points of the game for Caitlin Clark. The Fever need to be better here boxing out. Carrington on the drive overcooks the layup. The rebound is tipped Thomas's way, who banks it in off the backboard for the Sun. And the same here again. This time Thomas is too strong off the glass, but no box out from the Fever.
You ain't just
allows
airball out
Nelson
Alyssa.
Ododo to get the board and put it back in. Indiana end the quarter with a bit of a boost. Mitchell pick and pop with Dantas. She draws the blitz towards the baseline. Dantas pops out to the perimeter. Wide open catch and shoot shot, and she sinks it to make it a 1-point game.
Good shot.
But the Suns get the last points of the quarter right here. Poor defensive communication from the Fever again in the pick and roll. Thomas is left wide open at the foul line and just
That
floats
shit's
it in
so
with one
ugly.
hand. The Sun
Go
lead
in, though.
23-20. Aaliyah Boston doing a lot of the heavy lifting for Indiana. She's got 6 points and 3 blocks in the first. Clark quiet, just the one field goal. Understandably
Yeah,
so
Clark
with
is
that
really,
injury.
if you guys have picked up, Clark is really a second half player. Like, first half, she can get it going, but second half is when she's, like, gets in her bag for real. I feel like the first half, Clark likes to feel out and figure out who on her team is hot because Clark really is a very unselfish player. Like, she passes that ball a lot. So I feel like she focuses on her other teammates in the first half. In the second half, they're down. She goes into that fucking mode. But I feel like she needs, next season, bro, first half, she needs to go into that mode off rip. Off the rip, she needs to go into that mode.
Most importantly, the Fever
Don't
need to
wait.
switch on defensively. This is playoff basketball. Your mistakes will be punished. And if they want a chance to win this series against this team, they need to step it up because that first quarter just wasn't good enough. But defensively, Indiana still haven't made adjustments. Bonner here easily draws 2 defenders, leaving Alyssa Thomas from the elbow wide open.
Bro,
And she
that shit is ugly. And I fuck with Alyssa. Heavy. But that shit is ugly, bro. As long as it's dropping for her, though, I ain't gonna say shit too much.
Again, Sun run the dribble handoff with Maybury and Thomas. The Fever running drop coverage, so Thomas pops out to the foul line and scores again with
That
that
shit's so
ugly
filthy.
one-handed push shot.
That shit's
Alyssa
so
Thomas on
filthy.
triple-double watch early on. She's up to 7 points, 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Once again, Indiana sloppy defensively. Mitchell is more interested in complaining to the officials than getting back in transition, and this allows Bertan to take it coast to coast. One thing about Kelsey Mitchell, though, is you can always rely on her to redeem herself.
Yep.
When the Fever's offense gets stagnant,
I
she
like
gets
her.
the switch on Thomas. And
I like
creates
her.
something out of nothing here. Off the
Kelsey
dribble.
Mitchell, bro, NBA comp, bro. I really want to give her Kemba Walker. Charlotte Hornets, Kemba Walker, bro. If you don't know who Kemba Walker is, Charlotte Hornets, bro, go do your research, bro. Go do your research. Boy was a bucket, bro. but he was like that. I really want to give her like the Kemba Walker comp. I see a lot of Kemba Walker. I do.
Shimmy into a scoop layup. Speaking of mismatches, Bree Jones is too big and too strong for Lexi Hall. Boston rotates over and helps down low, and Jones uses her IQ, draws both in, dumps it off to Thomas, and she lays
It's a good ass
in.
pass.
That's 12 points for AT. Indiana get a spark from their most reliable role player. Clark to Boston, gives it up to Lexi. Aaliyah sets the screen for Hull, who comes round inside and drops in a leaner from the top of the paint. And there she is again, Lexi Hull, this time creating. The Sun are so focused on Caitlin Clark coming round the screen for a free ball that they don't pick up Dantas.
Good slip. That's a good
To
slip.
the basket, and that's Dantas up to 8 points on free shooting. Nothing coming easy for Indiana offensively. Mitchell one-on-one with Carrington, blows by the baseline and is able to get it up in and over Jones down low for the tie, and then Indiana take the lead right here. Clark in transition slows it down, waits for Boston to get up
That's
the
a
court.
good-ass
Clark
pass.
throws it in there, and Aaliyah
That's
does
a
the
good-ass
rest.
pass.
Indiana lead 36-34 on the road in the playoffs.
What do y'all think
But not
Caitlin Clark
for
needs to
long,
work on?
Because things started to go south real quick.
I just feel like
The
her
Suns set the
her
down screen
efficiency,
for
bro.
Carrington.
She just needs to work on her
Kelsey needs to
efficiency. That's
chase
really
over
it.
Instead,
She's
goes
really good
under the
everywhere
screen,
else, and
this allows
defense.
Carrington
Her
to
defense
keep
is a little
some momentum to her
sus.
advantage, burst to the rim, Mayberry finds her, and that's an easy layup.
Besides that,
More
though,
terrible
like, she's-
defense
she's-
from the
she's-
Fever. How easy is this?
Don't need to
Both
change
Katie
shit.
Lou and Dantas are focused on Bonner top of the key, so she throws it into Jones for a quick two. Once again, it's another Indiana mistake. Mayberry top of the key is one-on-one with Clark. She gambles, leans towards the screener, so Mayberry just goes the other way, straight line to the hoop, and scores with the left hand. The Sun are on a roll now. Boston loses control of the ball. That's a turnover, and Carrington throws a touchdown pass.
So is this
right
nigga
on
just
the
gonna
money to
commentate
Marina
the whole-
Mayberry,
like, the
who
game?
composes herself and scores. That's a 9-0 Sun run. Fever needs something, and Kelsey Mitchell delivers right on cue. Boston hands it off, screens, Mitchell races from the corner and pulls up from the foul line.
Bro, look
and
how
her jumper
I'm
rims
telling you, it's
in.
really
Final
Kemba
minute of the-
or Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey, Kemba Walker or Tyrese Maxey. I see it.
And
Am I all?
check out the
I don't think I'm
defense
off.
from Bonner.
Am I on
She's
something?
at
Am I
a
onto
size
something there or
disadvantage
what?
with Dantas backing her down. But watch how Bonner stands her ground, gets a firm hand on the ball for the rejection, and then again the next play. Caitlin Clark tries to blow by her going right, but look at the length and foot speed of Bonner to stay with her and send the shot out of bounds.
Good defense.
Two massive defensive plays from Bonner, and to the first half ends with a Caitlin Clark brick at the buzzer. It's been a terrible shooting night for both Clark and Mitchell, combining for 1 of 11 from
Holy
three.
shit,
Caitlin
guys.
Clark really struggling early on, no two ways about it. She finished the half with just 3 points on 1 of 9 shooting, was 0 of 6 when guarded by Bonner, who's been the player of the half, dominating on both ends with 16 points, leading all scorers. The Sun ended the half with a 12-2 run, but Indiana still hanging in there, only down 8 at halftime. But if there's one thing for sure,
Got the
it's that
hoopies.
Christy Sides needed to give her team a serious shake, because this wasn't the same Fever team that ended the season so strong. Well, if you were hoping the Fever would make some defensive adjustments for the second half, you'd be disappointed, because they were somehow even worse defensively. Watch how Marina Mayberry is just allowed to walk freely in the paint. She has all the time
that's
in the world to
crazy
just
work.
bank it up over Boston, who lazily puts a hand
Also,
up.
Mayberry right here, severely underrated. I don't hear her get talked about enough. Mayberry is tough. She was on the Sky. I'm pissed she got traded because the Sky is really like my favorite WNBA team. I'm not gonna lie. But once Paige comes in the league, she'll be my favorite player. But I'm pissed. But very underrated. Mayberry needs way more coverage, bro.
Contest.
Facts.
Now it is a good sign for Indiana when we see Clark and Boston linking up though. Boston gets well positioned with Bree Jones. Clark makes the pass, Boston makes the layup. There's nobody in the WNBA that can compete with Boston one-on-one in the low post, so the Fever need to exploit that more. It's not very often in this game we saw effort defensively, but we saw it here from Lexi Hull. Right here she anticipates the pass from Jones to Bonner in the corner, intercepts, keeps
Good
possession
defense.
alive,
Oh, good
knows
hustle.
exactly what to do, gets it to Clark, who picks out Kelsey Mitchell in the corner with a beautiful...
It takes dedication and focus to be an all.
1,000 sub-dubs, and you know. What about YouTube Premium? Don't gotta worry about ads no more, guys. Come
Mitchell
on.
makes the corner
Hit that
free,
sub
and
button,
maybe
bruh.
now finally
Tap in.
the floodgates will open for the Fever from 3-point range, because it's a 5-point game. They're within striking distance. But how easy is this? Kelsey Mitchell's guarding Carrington, and there's a gaping hole in the Fever's defense. And Carrington just attacks downhill with very little resistance from Mitchell. She's able to blow by, get to the rim, and reverse it in. The help defense from Indiana was non-existent. It's getting painful to watch. I never thought I would get to say this in this video, but finally, Mitchell, isolating with Thomas, has the Sun ball watching. They lose track of CC coming round Boston screen. Caitlin Clark wide open three after going 0 for 8, gets her first ever playoff 3 to go, and it's a 6-point game. But there is nothing more deflating when trying to make a comeback in basketball than scoring a 3 on one end and giving it straight back up defensively. And that's exactly what the Fever did here. Same mistakes over and over again. Clark doesn't chase over the down screen.
Clark's defense, I'm telling you, this is really her defense and efficiency. Other than that,
effect is real in basketball too, because now that she's made one, it's going to be easier for her to make another because she's in rhythm now. Fever careless with possession, balls loose, bodies hit the floor. Mayberry first to react, pull up 3 in transition. She hits it, and it's a 6-point swing, and the Fever are down 12. Finally, we get to see some Clark and Boston pick and roll in half-court sets. Coming round Boston screen, Clark does well to stall here and explode to the rim. Bonner can't catch her this time.
That's a nice
she
lay.
scores the easiest point she scored all night. Look at the defensive positioning here at the free throw line. Just standing there like wide open doors. Alyssa Thomas effortlessly
can't shoot threes though.
Defenders, and Thomas is good enough to drop that off inside. Jones scores the layup, and it's just so easy. Bit better offensively from Indiana here. Lexi handoff to Clark, splits the blitz with a pocket pass to Fag Benley, who finds Boston for a driving layup. But right here, they blitz Clark at half court in the pick and roll. She throws a careless pass to Boston. Jones is on high alert, intercepts, gets it to Thomas, who attacks with purpose and shovels off to Carrington for the layup. Caitlin Clark at fault again. Right here defensively, she's ball watching. Marina Mayberry has hit 2 3-pointers in this quarter. Your focus should be solely on her. Face guard her the way teams face guard you. This is schoolboy stuff. No
why you put Julian Newman on here?
No miscommunication, just Caitlin Clark falling asleep on defense. Mayberry backpedals to the perimeter, and before Caitlin even notices what's happened, Marina Mayberry's drilled another trifecta for the Sun. But Clark understands that you gotta get back what you give up. Despite the terrible shooting night, she's still confident enough to drive, push off, create separation for a step back, and right here knocks down just her second 3-pointer of the game.
Good shot.
Again though, you're not going to win in the playoffs if you can't play defense. Alyssa Thomas is the inbounder here. She throws it off of Dante's backside, beats everyone to the loose ball, kicks out to Carrington, who rips and goes right by Mitchell closing out, and look how easily she maneuvers through traffic for the strong-handed layup. 15-point game now is getting ridiculous. With just over 90 seconds to go in the third, Mitchell quick pull up in the mid-range, then Boster gives the Fever a huge boost, rummaging inside and scoring with the foul and one chance to make
it was actually a really good game. That's the craziest part.
But of course she misses the free throw. Going into the fourth quarter, there is reason to have hope because the Fever have done it before. A bunch of times we've seen them play terrible for 3 quarters and all of a sudden they get hot and turn it on. The question is, can they do it now when it matters most? Definitely not when there are 3 Fever players on the weak side and every single one moves towards the ball, leaving not just 1 but 2 Sun players wide open on the right side, allowing Thomas to make the simple pass to Burton for the layup. Connecticut are just having fun out there. Bonner hands it off to Thomas, gives it right
having
back.
Fun is crazy, bro. That's so disrespectful to say.
And it's a 15-point game. Mitchell Iverson cuts to get open on the right side, attacks right, hops to the hoop, scores the reverse and draws the foul. It's a 3-point play, she converts, and maybe, just maybe, they can go on a little bit of a run and get back into this game. But what did I say earlier is the single most deflating thing in basketball? You know what's coming. The team defense here is just terrible. They react slowly to the cross screen, then to the ball screen. Mitchell's ball watching leaves Mayberry wide open in the right corner. That's easy money, and Connecticut are back up 15. And more of the same stupid stuff. Kelsey Mitchell hasn't learned her lesson. Ball watching again, loses track of Mayberry.
Come on, Kels.
Jacks up another deep 3 and scores
Mayberry.
The Sun lead by 18 points.
Mayberry's definitely in my top 3.
Kill it right now. Alyssa Thomas on the drive, head up looking for a pass. Mayberry curls from the pin down. Mitchell all over this
Mayberry's
time,
just a
but
bucket,
it doesn't
bro.
matter because
Like,
Mayberry
Mayberry is
flips
just
it
a
up
straight
over both
bucket,
Mitchell
bro.
and Boston draws the
Simple.
foul and scores.
No ifs,
6
ands, or
minutes
buts.
to go and the Sun are up 21 points. There's nothing to talk about. I could waste your time and show you more terrible defense, like right here from Clark, staring into space, isn't looking at the ball, isn't looking at the opponent.
Gotta be
Gives up a
engaged,
three to
Clark.
Barton,
Yeah, you
because that
let
play
her
right there
go
sums it
wild,
up.
man.
The Fever get absolutely destroyed in the end, 93-69.
Holy
Embarrassing performance. Caitlin Clark had one of the worst games of her career, 4 of 17 shooting from the field, 11 points, 8 assists. The Fever went 6 of 28 from 3-point range in the game. Sometimes you have off shooting nights, but defensively there's no excuse. The effort, the schemes, just non-existent. Christie Sides needs to be held accountable, but at the same time we gotta give credit to the Sun. Mayberry had
Yeah,
27
Mayberry.
points.
Oh,
off the
yeah,
bench.
Mayberry.
Warner had 22. Thomas had a triple-double with 12, 10 and 13.
Holy
The Fever were
shit.
just completely outplayed and didn't treat this like a playoff game. Now, did the Clark eye poke affect them and her particularly? Who knows? But game
Okay,
2 in
thank you.
Indianapolis, there is a lot on the line.
Thank you,
the
bro.
Fever
I
need
said,
to
don't
wake
fucking-
up and
don't
win that
ride,
game,
bro.
or their playoff run will be over before it even starts. Because if we see more of what we saw in this game tonight, they're going to end up getting swept. Let me know down below in the
Well, then whoa. The Indian Infinity did lose, so I'm from the future. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. That's the end of the video. 413, subscribe. It's free, you know. Just show a little love type shit. See you guys in the next one. Every day, daily uploads. Yes, sir, ski.